Happy Tuesday, this is Monica Ruiz, and today we're going to be practicing some slow flow. Hope you're well, despite the rain and the changing weather. As I always say, the inner sun inside of us is always shining. And even when it's raining in the clouds, the sun is always behind. We're going to start with a chest opener. So as I was mentioning here in the comments, we have few options. If you have blocks, that's fantastic. Let's actually grab the blocks. But I'm going to show you how to make a homemade prop from a cushion as well if you don't have props. So don't worry. You have options for everyone. Option number 2, starting with blocks. We're going to start with this T shape. Vertical, the vertical block is going to go in between the shoulder blades, and the one that is on the long side, horizontal, at the base of the skull. So we're going to be lying down with these two blocks. If you don't have blocks, but you do have a bolster, you can use the bolster instead. Use the bolster, put it in the mat, and you lie down onto the bolster. If you don't have a block, if you don't have a bolster, that's absolutely fine as well. We're going to be using a cushion. So actually I'm just grabbing a cushion here, and you fold it halfway, just like that, and you're going to lie down onto the cushion. So it will be less of an elevation if you're using a bolster, but pretty much the same elevation as if you were using the blocks. So whichever variation you want to go for the cushion, for the bolster, for the blocks, you go with them. And since I have all of them, I'm going to go for my bolster, a little bit softer. The idea with this chest opener is that we're actually going to be working fairly with chest openers today. Therefore, we're going to start preparing the body for that. So if you're using the bolster, in this case, make sure that your sitting bones are as close as you can from the bolster, and you allow your upper body just to be supported by it. Make sure that your lower back is not triggered or is off the bolster, so we don't want to get here into a back bend. We're going to trigger, we want to work with the opening of the rib cage of the thoracic spine. So whether you're using a cushion, the bolster of your blocks, both of the arms, both of the hands are going to be by your side, palms facing up. If you would like to go for a slightly deeper opening, you might want to bring both of your arms overhead into a form an internal rotation of the shoulders, so the palms are facing down, and you're stretching back. You're going to feel that both on the chest but also into the rib cage, you're now creating a much more wide opening. You can always start with your hands, with your arms by your side, and then as we're going to be here for a few minutes, then bring your arms around and back. Super. So that's the upper body. With the lower body, you have several options. You can just go as I am right now, as you can see, with both of my knees are bent, and I'm also getting into an external rotation of hips, opening the hips. If that feels like not today, you don't want to just get too much into the legs, you can just keep your legs on Shavasana. So then you're focusing the extension and the opening into the upper body. Go with whichever variation is working for you. And if you just dial in, welcome. My name is Monica Ruiz, and we're going to be flowing today together with this yummy and restorative, invigorating slow flow. We're using props, a bolster, 2 blocks on a T shape. As I see that some people have just joined it. That for the base of your skull, the one on the vertical side in between your shoulder blades. And if you don't have bolsters or blocks, using a cushion, fold it halfway, and I'm going to actually show you right now how it looks like. You're just going to lie down onto your cushion to have a really nice also chest opener there. Fantastic. As you're now fully arriving to the space, not just the body but also the mind, also the emotional body. We're going to close the eyes and bring the awareness, bring the attention, especially now in these first moments, to the back of the body. Back of the body that is supported by the bolster, by the blocks, by the floor. If at any time this chest opener feels a little bit too much, you can always come off. That's absolutely fine. We're going to find that balance between the grounding, the support, that the floor, that the bolster, the mat is supporting, is providing to the back of your body. And equally with that support, feeling that contained, you are contained and you are supported, you're inhaled by the surface, by the earth underneath you. It is safe for you to allow your chest to open, allow your hips to open. Through this week, my classes, we are working with the element of balance, the element of balance between the activation and the release, the yang and the yin. They both need to have a space to play and space to express themselves. Otherwise, we are not into that balance. We have too much of one or too much of the other. And that balance fluctuates, as life itself fluctuates all the time. So we're going to be exploring what does balance mean to us this afternoon. Noticing how as you inhale, it is the upper body that expands, that activates, that fills you with prana, with life force, with endless possibilities. And as you exhale, you allow the body to soften, to release, to let go a little bit more. We're going to now pretty much work with the middle chakras. We're going to be breathing through the root, the sacral, solar plexus and the chest. And I'm going to be guiding you through these 4-step breathing through the chakras. Closing the eyes, and whether you are listening to the music, to the playlist, or you are working, you are practicing in silence, let's tune towards the sound of the breath. Let's tune towards the sounds of the body, the heartbeat, what's happening within. And first we're going to inhale through the nose as deep as you can, and we're going to exhale through the mouth, making a HA sound, making space, channeling the spaciousness and creating that release. Let's start breathing. As we inhale first, we're going to bring the awareness towards the groin, towards the root chakra. And as that inhalation travels, it's going to travel all the way, activating your sacral, your solar plexus, and your chest, all the way up. And as you start exhaling through the mouth, that breath is going to travel all the way down from the collarbones, down to the chest, down to the solar plexus, down to the sacral, all the way down towards the groin, the base, back to earth, back to the grounding. As we come back again, inhaling from your root chakra, your stability, your sacral, your desires, your creativity, your solar plexus, your determination, your willpower, and your heart, your emotions, your capacity to love, your capacity to forgive. As we exhale, we take that breath all the way back down from the chest, down to the tummy, down to the groin, all the way down towards the tail, the earth. So with that, with every inhalation, we're going to be activating the chakras, bringing all those qualities. And as we exhale, we're going to remove, release, and let go any of the tension, any of the imbalance, any of the fear that we have accumulated back to earth, to that wonderful exhalation. We're going to do that a few more rounds. As you inhale, you might want to even imagine a beam of light, a stream of light being activated from your groin, traveling through your torso all the way up to the collarbones. And as you exhale, that stream of light travels all the way down, back to earth. Let's do that once again. Inhaling up through your roots, your sacral, your solar plexus, your chest, all the way up. And exhaling. Removing, releasing, and letting go. Anything that doesn't serve you right now, doesn't serve you today. Let's do that once again. Inhaling out through the nose, activating all the way up to your collarbones. Exhaling, removing, cleansing, releasing. Fantastic. Let's come back now to natural breathing as you are lying down. Noticing if there have been any shifts, any changes. And as now you are much more connected towards the breath, where you are, bringing your hand, one to your chest, one to your tummy, to really and truly connect with that capacity of love, of being compassionate, of being forgiving, with your willpower, with your determination, with your creativity, with your desires, with your ability to ground, to feel secure, to feel safe, and to be structured, to have that solid foundation within you, regardless of the chaos, regardless of what's happening around you. And with that, there's an invitation for you to pick an intention for the practice. I mean, with anything that might have resonated, the things that we have shared, or it might be something completely different. You go with it. Envision it, feel it, see it, embrace it. And trust that the practice will unfold whatever is needed for that intention to blossom. Removing your hands away from your body, bringing them by your side. As you return to natural breathing, still feeling the tingling and the activation from the breath. And slowly we're going to bring the knees back to center, keeping them hip-width distance apart. Allowing the pelvis to come back to neutral. And if your upper body is supported by any blocks or any bolster or any cushion, we're going to be quite mindful and we're going to roll towards one of our sides, getting off the bolster, off the blocks, of any props. Rolling to one side and allowing ourselves just to be there for breath. Feeling how the body has released and is feeling more awake. You're feeling more connected to it. Using your hands to come all the way up into seated with the arms closed, the eyes closed, reconnecting with your breath, with the sensations in your body. As we inhale, we're going to bring both of the arms overhead. As we exhale, we're going to swipe all that energy back to us. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhaling, grounding, and as we ground, we're going to turn towards the right side. Allowing the lateral of the body to start breathing and start being active. As we inhale, we come back to center. As we exhale, we turn towards the left side. Beautiful. Coming back to center again, inhaling. Exhaling, bringing both of your palms down to your lap. As we're going to start moving now, engaging a little bit more with the chest and with the hips. And I'm going to turn towards the side so you see what's happening. We're going to start, one of your legs is going to be crossed on top, whether it's the right or the left, and we're going to do the same flow onto the other side. Bringing your fingertips a few inches away from your sitting bones, from your pelvis. As you inhale, you're going to leave the chest, you're going to leave the hips up. As you exhale, bringing the sitting bones down, folding forwards, rounding your spine. Inhaling, bringing the fingertips back, lifting the chest, drawing the shoulders down, looking up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, rounding the sitting bones, folding forwards. One last time. Inhaling, bringing your hands behind, lifting the chest, the sternum, the pelvis all the way up. Exhaling, rounding your sitting bones and folding forwards with a rounded spine. If the forehead is on the mat, fantastic. If not, you can always use your hands. Create a little pillow with your fists, and you can allow your forehead to rest there. Feeling the stretch, not just at the back of the body, but also into the back of your leg. If you have that, whichever leg is on top, allow that leg to stretch and connect through the breath. So you inhale, you activate, and you exhale, you release. Beautiful. Coming back to seated. Now we're going to change the interlace of the legs. So if the leg was on top, then actually go with the right and vice versa. Again, let's go with a little flow. As we inhale, we'll bring the fingertips back, lifting the hips, lifting the torso. As we exhale, sitting down, bringing the forehead down, rounding the spine. Inhaling, lifting the torso, lifting the hips, looking up towards the sky. Exhaling, rounding your sitting bones, ground forwards, rounding the spine, letting go of the neck. One last round. Inhaling, lifting the sternum, lifting the hips up. Exhaling, bringing your sitting bones down, forehead forwards, round the spine. And as we did on the other side, if you would like to use your hands as a little pillow, and breathe. Breathe through the back of the body. Another breath here. As we come all the way back to seated, well done guys. We're gonna now transition into our all fours. From these all fours, be quite mindful of the alignment of the pelvis. If you need to do a couple of tilts here to just really feel where is that midline for you, that is not going into a back bend, but it's not even like tilting your and kind of almost like getting the tail really in. So you're overstretching your hip flexors and your thighs here. But then if we go too far back, then we're getting too much into the lower back, which is actually something that we don't want to do. So finding that balance in between that contraction and extension. Coming into your all fours and bringing that awareness into your pelvis. As we're going to start moving the spine with cats and cows. As you inhale, you arch the spine, looking up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, rounding the spine, making a very long neck. Inhaling, arching and drawing the shoulders down. Exhaling, rounding the spine. And perhaps you continue into this cat and cow flow, or perhaps you like to take it a little bit more somatic and free movements. And you bring the neck, you bring the head, you bring the hips, and you start making less vertical shapes as we're kind of going now, moving the spine just kind of on that vertical axis. But just move towards the side and allowing the body to express, allowing the breath to take over, and just guide you through whichever movement, whichever shape you feel drawn to. Few last breaths here as we all go into child's pose. Forehead on the mat. Breathe through the back of the body. As we inhale, we come into our fingertips. And we're going to get here a little flow to activate further the spine. As we inhale, we come back into this child's pose. Hips, sitting bones to the heels. Forehead on the mat, off the mat, hands into fingertips. As we exhale, we ground the palms and we start sliding the torso forwards into our low cobra. Inhaling, taking the body all the way back, sitting bones to heels, stretching through the arms. As we exhale, we ground both of the palms and we take the torso, we slide the torso forwards, perhaps lifting into a up dog. That feels right for the lower back. Inhaling, coming all the way back, opening through the laterals of the body. Exhaling, grounding the palms, tucking the elbows in, and sliding all the way into your up dog. Continue at your own pace. Continue at your own speed, as it's not about how far you go, but how do you go. Really acknowledging how does your body feel today, and what is the best possible way that you can support yourself today in the practice. Is it slowing down? It is speeding up? It is just keeping in your usual way of practicing? So no, as you know, all yogis, not because you have done a pose 1,000 times means that you're going to be doing that pose in the same way every single time. It's going to feel absolutely different. So keep finalizing your flow as we all come into child's pose now. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling. And we come back into our all fours. From all fours, we're going to tag the toes in and we're going to lift into our first down-facing dog. Into this down-facing dog, allow yourself to bend the knees, to stretch the legs, to do whatever it feels right for the body right now. Just to let go of any of the fidgety sensations or anything that you might be feeling that might be going on for you today. And slowly coming back to stillness. Allowing the breath to activate with the inhalation and to release with the exhalation, making more space. Walking the hands back towards your feet, allowing your head to be heavy, your arms to be heavy, deeply bending your knees so the lower back is not triggered here. As with every exhalation you fold a little bit more forwards. And inhaling, pressing down with your feet, start rounding your spine, vertebra by vertebra, all the way back to standing. Coming into the mid part of your mat as you are standing into your Tadasana. Rolling the shoulders down and back, the tail is long, the navel slightly taps in. Activating your bandhas. Both of the legs are fully grounding and at the stability at your foundation right now. As we're going to start moving. Walking to the front of the mat. As we inhale, bringing your fingertips all the way up. As we exhale, folding forwards. Connecting with your breath if you will like ujjayi breath as well. Inhaling, long spine. Exhaling, grounding both of the palms. Taking your right foot back, right knee on the mat. Inhaling, lifting into your low lunge. Exhaling, opening into your Anjaneyasana. We're going to now go into a little flow. Inhaling, rounding the spine. Exhaling, arching and opening forwards while you're sinking through the hips. Inhaling, rounding the spine. Exhaling, opening the arms, opening the chest and sinking through the hips. Inhaling, rounding the spine. Exhaling, opening. Beautiful. And as you're opening, you're taking your right arm 90 degrees, opening towards the right side. As you inhale, you're coming back to center. As you exhale, now will be your left arm coming into your reverse. Another breath. Inhaling, coming all the way back to center. Exhaling, rounding your left foot. Taking it back into your first plank. Creating that alignment between the shoulder, the elbow and the wrist. Engaging your core. And for this first round, we're going to drop the knees first. And lowering down towards the mat. As we inhale, low cobra. As we exhale, pushing the floor away. And lifting into our down facing dog. Breathing through the down facing dog. Inhaling, activate. Exhaling, release. Letting go of the head. Activating the shoulder blades. Making space at the back of your legs. As you inhale, you look forwards. As you exhale, step your foot forwards. Exhaling, folding. Inhaling, reaching all the way up. Exhaling, hands to the heart, Samasthiti. Let's get moving on to the other side. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, folding forwards. Inhaling, long spine halfway. Exhaling, rounding both of the palms, taking your left foot back, left knee on the mat. Inhaling, lifting into your low lunge, rounding the spine. Exhaling, opening forward into Anjaneyasana and sinking through the hips. As you inhale, you round the spine, you take it back. As you exhale, you sink forwards, opening the chest and bringing your arms with you. Inhaling, rounding the spine. Exhaling, folding. Beautiful. As we are here, bringing your right arm towards the side. Opening. Inhaling up. Exhaling will be the left this time. Turning towards the left. Inhaling, bringing both of the arms up. Exhaling, grounding your palms. Taking your right foot back into your plank. And choices. If you would like to do knees, toes and chin, or do all the way in your chaturanga, that's your choice. Inhaling, abdominal cobra. Exhaling, down facing dog. Here we start regulating the intensity. If you would like to go into your full chaturangas, please go ahead. Coming into down facing dog. Connecting with your breath. As you look forwards, inhaling, bringing one foot at a time. Exhaling, folding. Inhaling, reaching all the way up. Exhaling, hands to the past, Samasthiti. Reposition, recenter. With your breath, with your intention. Before we keep moving, that's importance into the slow flow. That we move with intention, we move with a sense of direction and a sense of purpose. So when we lose it through the movement, these moments of stillness allows us to reconnect with that intention. As we're gonna keep moving again. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, folding forwards. Inhaling, long spine. Exhaling, rounding both of the palms, taking your right foot back, your left foot back into your plank, going into your vinyasa, knees, chest and chin, or chaturanga. Inhaling, up dog. Exhaling, down facing dog. From your down facing dog, look in between your hands. Inhaling, lifting your right leg up. Exhaling, bringing your right knee to the navel and hold. Inhaling, right leg up. Exhaling, right knee to the navel and hold. Inhaling, right leg up. exhaling right knee to the navel. And now we're going to step that right foot into the outer side of the right hand. Dropping the left knee into the floor. We're going to keep going into this little flow. As we inhale, hands on the fingertips, we're going to bring the hips down and opening the chest. As we exhale, we're flexing the right foot and getting into the back of the leg to stretch. Inhaling forward, bringing the hips down and opening through the chest. Exhaling, flexing the foot and releasing the back of the leg. Inhaling down, looking up towards the sky. Exhaling, flexing the foot, rounding the spine. Beautiful, grounding both of the palms. And we're going to now get into our lizard. Option to keep your left knee where it is. Option to lift it for a little bit more of engagement and work into the opposite leg, into the left leg. If you would like to go a little bit deeper, you can always bring both of your forearms into the mat without losing that track, that grip into your right leg. So the inner arch of your right foot is fully rounded. Breathing there. You might want to do a couple of rounds, rolling back and forth into the hip. As we bring the left knee onto the mat, shifting the weight towards the left hand. As we inhale, we open towards the right side. So bringing that engagement into that right leg. It is the torso that opens towards the side. You might want to bend the opposite knee, get hold of the foot. If you like to do a little bit more of a stretch into the leg, but you don't have to. The importance here, it is sinking the hips and opening the chest. Beautiful. Coming back into the center. Both of the hands are back. Taking your right leg all the way up. And your choice, normal vinyasa, three-legged vinyasa, up dog, low cobra. Exhaling, down facing dog. Beautiful. If in between sides you want to take a little break and come into your child's pose, you are more than welcome. Otherwise, staying in down facing dog. Another breath. Inhaling, activating. Exhaling, releasing. Let's go with the other leg. Inhaling, taking your left leg up. Exhaling, left knee to the navel and hold, rounding the spine. Inhaling, left leg up. Exhaling, left knee to navel and hold. Inhaling, left leg up. Exhaling, holding. And stepping the left foot into the outer side of the left hand. We're gonna go into our little flow now. Everyone bringing the right knee towards the mat. So we're gonna now go into the chest opener. As we inhale, we bring the hips down, opening the chest. Exhaling, coming back, rounding the spine, flexing the left foot, getting to the back of the leg. Inhaling, bringing the hips down, opening the chest. Exhaling, rounding the spine. Stretching the back of the left leg. Inhaling one last time, looking up towards the sky. Exhaling, bringing your back of the stretch into the left leg. Everyone coming forwards as we're now going to get into our lizard. Few options as we did into the other side. If you would like to lift your right knee off the mat, put a little bit more work into that leg, fantastic. If you would like to bring your forearms into the floor as well, for a bit more of a stretch into that hip, your choice. We're going to stay here, rolling back and forth a couple of times, just really to get into that hip. And beautiful, dropping your right knee. We're going to now get into our twist, shifting the weight into the right hand as we open towards the left. As we did into the opposite side, if you would like to bend the knee and getting hold of the foot for further straight into your quads, fantastic. If not, the intention here is to open the hips and roll the shoulder back. Another breath. Coming all the way forwards, grounding both of the palms. Taking your left leg all the way back. And vinyasa, normal vinyasa, three-legged vinyasa. Inhaling up dog. Exhaling down facing dog. Beautiful. And with this down facing dog, options, taking a child's pose if you would like to. Taking another vinyasa, staying in down facing dog, or coming into dolphin. So we're going to be working again a bit into the chest there, into the shoulders, and into the hips. Starting, we're going to get into puppy first. So we're going to be allowing the chest to open. Stretching your shoulders, your arms forwards. We're creating a straight line. So a straight line from the hips to the knees. So that stays in 90 degrees. But it is the chest that is opening down. So whether you want to stay into your forehead, so the neck is a little bit more supported, or you might want to come into your chin. So that would be slightly wider opening into your thoracic spine. Breathing there. Inhaling, noticing how the chest lifts as you exhale. Surrendering the sternum towards the floor. Another breath. And everyone coming into your forearms. We're gonna get now into a forearm plank, activating the core. So at any point, if this feels a little bit too much, you can come into your knees as long as you're not getting here. You see what's happening to my back now? That's actually super arch. If you're coming into your knees, you're coming with a rounded spine, so you're protecting your lower back and your core is engaged. And you're coming into your forearm plank. If you would like to a little bit more of a challenge, you can always lift one leg, bringing down, lifting another leg, and bringing down. Holding, engaging your core, rounding your spine slightly. And bringing it down. Forehead on the mat. Swinging your hips side to side. We're going to get into a little bit of work, more work into the chest. As we are bringing the hands by our sides, inhaling, lifting into our low cobra. Long spine, knees are off the mats, your feet are pressing down. See if your hands are coming off the mat, so there's no support from your arms. It is your lower back. Fantastic. Calming down, exhaling. Swinging your hips side to side. I will now interlace the fingers, lifting your knees off the mat so both of your legs are engaged. As you inhale, lifting the torso, lifting the forehead, and lifting the arms. Make sure that you're breathing here. And exhaling, folding. Fantastic. So all this work that we have done, we're going to now come into our knees. As all the work that we have activated now, the lower back and the shoulders, is for now to get into dolphin. So now we have warmed up and we have opened the space in the shoulders for us to be able to get a little bit easier and a little bit more sustainably into dolphin, because we have activated those parts of the body that we need. You would like to come with me, hands into the shoulders, opening to the sides, taking that 90-degree structure onto the mat as we come into our toes. Walking the feet as close as you can. Make sure that your forehead is off the mat. And pushing the floor away with your elbows, with your forearms and with your hands. For 2 full breaths. Once you're done, bringing your knees down. Forehead on the mat. Releasing. Inhaling up. Exhaling. Releasing. Beautiful. We're going to run another round here as well. As kind of you're building into, eventually getting into pincher. So if pincher is part of your practice and you like to get straight away into pincher, you're more than welcome. But here in slow flow, I like to break it down. So we know the biomechanics, and we know kind of how the body works and builds up to get into that pose. Getting again into that position, into that 90 degree, back into the mat, lifting your hips, walking your toes as close as you can, and perhaps lifting one leg at a time. 2 full breaths and changing your legs. Once you're done, coming down, again forehead on the mat, release it. I'm sure that your legs are feeling it right now. As you inhale, you bring the air, you bring the breath into the back of the body, activating. As you exhale, you let go. Beautiful. Once you're ready, from your child's pose, coming onto your knees and straight away into down facing dog. I'm sure that the body feels quite different right now, probably, and hopefully more open and a little bit more fluid after all this opening that we have done into the hips and into the chest. As we inhale, we look forwards. As we exhale, step, jump or float all the way. Exhaling, folding, inhaling, reaching all the way up. Exhaling, hands to the heart, Samasthiti. Beautiful. Breathing, reconnecting again with your breath, with your intention. As we're gonna go into more opening, working on legs, working on body, but at the same time into balance. What we were saying earlier. We're gonna get into our eagle, starting from the right leg. So we're gonna shift the weight towards the left foot, lifting your right knee, and you have your options here. So first of all, finding that balance, that you're not leaning towards the side, you're still keeping into that midline, yeah? For that, the core needs to be engaged. The core is actually right now your foundation for you to be able to support any balancing poses. You're gonna cross the right leg over, and you have your options. Toes into the floor, if you would like a little bit more of balance. You can allow that right foot to hover, or you can bring it all the way around your calf. In terms of the arms, we're gonna get the right under and the left on top. Bringing into your eagle arms, shoulders down, elbows forwards. See if you can sink a little bit. A little bit further. And coming out of your eagle without dropping the right foot into the mat. You see that I'm not cheating, I'm just changing direction so I have a little bit more space to work. As we're gonna now transition into our dancer, we're gonna take that right leg all the way back. Holding, getting hold of the foot. As we start, here it's really important that we work with the breath. As we exhale, the body's gonna feel more receptive for us to open and to kick that right foot back. Lifting the left arm forwards. Standing leg is strong, supporting you the opening. As you come all the way back, bringing your right foot down, shaking both of the legs, coming into your other side. Shifting the weight towards the left foot as we come into 1 foot balance. Crossing the left leg over, and as we did into the other side, whether you want to leave the foot on the floor for a little bit more of extra balance, or hovering, or bringing it around. This time it will be your left hander, your right on top. As we keep sinking, shoulders down, elbows forwards. Another breath here, feeling how the glutes, how the legs are stretching, and coming all the way up without dropping the floor, the foot towards the floor. I'm just changing angles so you can see what's happening here. Slowly with the breath, we're going to start shooting and bringing that left leg all the way back. Getting hold of the foot as we start kicking and taking that foot back and bringing your right arm up. Finding your drishti, that point of support, point that you can stay balanced even if you wobble. That's okay. Another breath. And coming all the way back to center. Bringing your left foot back. Shaking your legs. As we're now going to transition into our yogi squats. It wouldn't come to me as I thinking. Yogi squat, it is a yogi squat. So if you need to use some of the blocks that we were talking in the beginning, more than welcome, you can use them. If your heels are not on the floor, you can just step onto the blocks. And then you have a little bit more of a support here to come into your yogi squats. If you don't need them, then that's absolutely okay. Just come into your yogi squats. And the importance here is that not just is the opening of the hips, but also what's happening to my spine. You see what's happening, right? But I'm just handing forward. It's really not an engagement. So the difference here is that we come into the yogi squat with a really vertical spine. If it's accessible, the elbows are going to come into the inner knees, bringing the palms together. And that's going to allow us to have a really strong spine. As we inhale through the nose, we exhale into lightest breath, releasing any tension. Inhaling up, exhaling. One last time. Inhaling, exhaling. And a few options here. If you like to stay, you like to get into your back hasana, into crow, you're more than welcome. I'm getting some air time. You don't have to get into your full crow. Just making a little bit of a little jump and having a play. And if you know your crow, then just getting full into it. Bringing your knees towards the armpits. Lifting one leg at a time. And once you're ready, lifting both. And coming back into your squat once you're ready. Bringing the fingertips into the back. As we're going to now roll all the way down towards the floor. Keeping your spine as rounded as possible. So we are protecting the lower back. Rolling all the way. Hugging your knees towards the chest. Rolling side to side. As we're going to still be working with the chest and with the hips. Coming into our bridge here. We just move these away because you don't see me. Have all the props here. So from where we are into bridge, bringing your heels closer towards your hips as much as you can. Maybe you're able to touch your heels with your fingertips. And with that action, the palms are facing down. So as you inhale, you're able to start lifting your hips all the way up towards the ceiling. And perhaps that's where you are today. Maybe you want to bring your fingertips together, interlacing them, and snuggling your shoulders in. So you have a little bit more of elevation for the hips and for the chest. Making sure that your knees are not splitting, because that means that there's not really engagement into the inner thighs. They stay parallel. And lifting. Slowly coming all the way down. Hugging your knees towards the chest for a moment. Rocking side to side. And going for our next round. So next round might just be just exactly like that. That you are interlacing your fingers. You're snuggling your shoulders in. And perhaps you'd like to lift one leg at a time. If you do, hold it there for 2 full breaths without the hips coming down, because the weight of the legs is actually allowing you to collapse down. You're keeping the integrity to the hips. It's just you're working with your core to lift one leg at a time. And once you're done, bringing your hips towards the floor, hugging your knees, rocking side to side, and happy baby. Releasing the lower back, releasing the hips. Keeping the legs up, just straight up as they were. We're going to get into a supine version of pigeon. Crossing the right on top of the left. And we have few options here. The ankle is on the thighs, not on the knee. If you're using the knee, just scoop it down towards the thigh. You have the option to interlace your fingers around your thigh. That might feel sufficient stretch for your hips. If not, you can just take your fingertips onto your shins. So you have a little bit more of a cozy and rounded stretch. Tucking your chin in so your neck is long and is not arched. You're going to be here for 2 full breaths. Allowing the body to wind down, to get started into a more regenerative and restoring part of class. Beautiful. Letting go of the shin, letting go of the leg. You might want to cross that right leg on top and then turn into your supine twist. If this feels too much, because we are having a little bit of a closer and deeper stretch, you can take the supine with both of your knees parallel. If not, you just keep them crossed as they were, and you turn the knees, you allow the knees to drop towards the left side, opening your arms, turning your head towards the right side. Closing your eyes perhaps, allowing the body to start entering this phase of restoration. Wonderful. As then you come all the way up to center, bringing both of your feet to the floor, allowing the hips to realign for a moment before we go into the opposite side. Once you're ready, lifting both of the legs. This time we're bringing the left ankle on top of the right thigh. Not the knee, but the right thigh. And as we did, some of us, if we interlace the fingers underneath the leg, that's enough to stretch. You should feel the stretch into the lateral of your left leg. If that's not the case, you can always bring your fingertips into your shin, tucking the chin in with a long spine so it's not arched. Feeling the stretch there. We're going to be here for 2 full breaths. Noticing how's your body right now, how's your breath. And letting go of the leg, crossing the left leg on top and dropping the knees towards the right side, opening the arms, turning the head towards the left, allowing both of the shoulders to be on the mat. Perhaps closing the eyes. Another breath, stretching the left side of the body, coming all the way back to center, hugging the knees. And if you have any finishing poses, whether it will be a shoulder stand or head stand or anything, in order just to get a little bit more upside down, feel free to just come and do it. Then from your shoulder stand, you come into your plow. Once you're done, coming all the way up. But again, if you would like to do a headstand instead, you're more than welcome to. and slowly doing anything that you have left, anything that feels right, until you transition into your Shavasana. Allowing both of your legs and your arms to be heavy, palms facing up. If you have your bolster with you, you can always bring the bolster underneath your knees for a little bit more of an extra support. Otherwise, just allowing the floor to support your body, to feel heavy, and letting go of the breath, letting go of the mind, letting go of the body. Start deepening your breath, easing the transition back to your body, to your breath, to the current sensations, to the present moment. Once you're ready and as mindful as you can, start wiggling your toes, your fingers, perhaps going for a nice stretch, hugging your knees towards your chest, respecting the natural process of the body to awake, to awaken, to come back, feeling renourished, feeling replenished. Coming all the way back to seated, into a comfortable seated position where we will all close the practice together. Bringing the palms to the heart center and Anjali Mudra, acknowledging ourselves for having showed up to the practice, thanking ourselves for having dedicated this time to the practice of yoga, to our well-being, to our health, and ultimately dedicating this hour to ourselves as a way to show respect, to show love, to show that we care for ourselves and that we care for our planet, we care for our community. Let's all close with an Om and 3 Shanti so we can all go in peace and in harmony. Inhaling through the nose. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, love and abundance to all of you. Thank you so very much for having joined, for tuning in, for your practice, for your energy, for your devotion. I hope you enjoy the practice. My name is Monica Ruiz. I will be back on Friday, 7:45 for more slow flow, this time with sound. And on Saturday, we are launching our first online workshop where we're going to be moving, breathing, and working with intention. So if you'd like to join us, go to MoreYoga's website. You're going to see that the Rebalance and Recharge workshop. Otherwise, I will be posting the link here onto the comments when the video is available. So if you actually don't find it, you can come back here. I'll be right with you here for a few moments. If you have any questions or any feedback, I'll be happy to comment and respond to you into the live chat. Otherwise, I'll see you around. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday, of your week. And I really hope that this practice have allowed or have brought a sense of calmness, a sense of relaxation, and ultimately for you to feel better. I love you all. Thank you. So let's see if we have any comments. Let's see, any questions. Otherwise, if you don't want to post them here on the YouTube, it's fine. You can find me on Instagram, Ingenium in Movements, and we can connect there, we can talk there, or you have any personal questions, I will be very happy to respond them to you there. Alrighty, so it doesn't seem that we have any questions at the moment. As I said, you can always contact me on Instagram. I'll let you go. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Love you all. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, thank you. Messages are coming now. Ricardo is saying thank you very much. Oh, thanks. You're actually making me practice my Spanish. Muchas gracias. Estuvo muy bien. It's not that I practice Spanish very often these days, as I'm half British, half Spanish. But gracias. Thank you so much, Ricardo. And Benedetta, also Benedetta. Always very good time with you. Thank you. Oh, so lovely to practice with you. Thank you so much for coming back. It's really lovely to see a lot of my students that of course, I mean, we haven't been in the studios for a while now, but it's really, really lovely to connect with all of you here online as well. So thank you so much for keep attending my classes, and those of you that you haven't practiced with me, thanks for trusting me and thanks for coming to us. Make sure that you stay updated with the MoreYoga schedule, as we have over 130 classes every week. A lot of styles, from power to Dharma, meditation, slow flow, restorative workshops, as the one on Saturday at 6 p.m. So yeah, stay tuned, because there's a lot you can do with your membership. Make sure that you make the most of it. Thank you all. And I think that we're done for all the comments. I think that we have all students have logged out. Unless you guys want to say anything else, I'm just here to check in that no questions get unresponded. Let's see. As I said, don't you worry if you don't want, if you don't know or anything comes out afterwards. You can always get in touch with me in Genuine Movement on Instagram. Otherwise, our friends from MoreYoga will be more than happy to pass on the questions that you actually send to them. And also really important, if you have any requests in terms of what body parts you want to work on, what poses are you working towards. I mean, slow flow, I always tend to break it down a lot, so we're working on that foundation that allows us to do all the more advanced practices, advanced poses. But if there's anything in particular that you're working towards to, let me know, and I will be very happy to add those poses or those transitions or those flows, so you can work on those parts of the body, on those specific sequences that are important for you. Your feedback also is really important, not just for me as a teacher, Monica, but also for MoreYoga community. And this is a way that we build our community as well. So yeah, all the questions are more than welcome. Alrighty guys, so it doesn't seem that we have any more questions. Now I'm going to let you go. Have a wonderful rest of your day, of your week, and I'll see you around. Love you all. Namaste.